Hey everyone, welcome back to the another Flutter Firebase tutorial. Today we are going to learn email password authentication in the professional way. Everyone thinks email password authentication is the simple, but if you analyze, each and every project must have the authentication feature. That's why we need to learn it in the professional way. We have used the report for the state management and we have achieved each and everything. This is the login screen. If you have already account, then you can log in. If you didn't have an account, then click the sign up here and you can register the account here. Here currently 3 fields: name, email and password. If you start to register the account, then it will disable the sign up button until you have provided all the info. This is the name. You need to provide your complete name. You need to provide the fully formatted email. Until you have provided the fully formatted email, it will display the error. After you have provided the fully formatted email, then it will enable the sign up button. If you try to sign up, then it will display please enter all the field. First it will check if all the field will be filled or not. In password, I'll just set the only the 6 password criteria, but during complete video we have also see how you can set the strong password as well. From here you can just hide and show the password, and if you just click the sign up, it will show the loading indicator until the sign up is success. If sign up success, then navigate to the login screen and display now turn to login. Again here if you click the login button, then it will also start the circular progress indicator until login will be successful. And here see we have successfully login, and here is the logout. If you have logout from here, it will show, it will navigate to the login screen. By this way we can create the email password authentication feature in our Flutter app. You can use this type of email password authentication in your real project. After this demo, let's start the complete video. Okay, we are going to start the email password authentication. Let's start. I'm not spend too much time during UI design. We have just created one simple and clean UI. I'll just say the background color will be white background color. In body, I'll just define the column widget. Inside the column, we have required the multiple children. First widget will be container. Inside the container, we have required the height of the container. To make our app responsive, I'll just get the screen height for responsive design. Double height media query. If you have used the media query, then your app is responsive for height and width. Context.size.height. Okay, after you have defined the responsive height here, then we'll call this height and width just height. If you pass height tends to this side, then it will takes the all screen available, but I'll give the 2.3. okay, decoration, box decoration, we have simply design it. Width, I'll set the width double.max width, takes the available all the width. Child, containers takes the child widget. Image.assets, here inside the asset folder I have collect 2-3 images for login and sign up. I'll just copy the relative path of this image and paste it here. Before you have used the image, just set the path of the image on pubspec.yml file and let's save it. It should look like this after save the image. Let's make this image fit all the width. Fit boxfit.cover. It takes the all available width. Now after the image is in, it's look like this background and image is to separate. I'll just add the shadow and make this, I'll make it similar this to image and the background. Okay, inside the container we have a decoration. It takes the box shadow. I'll just provide the color and we have the shadow background color. In our colors.dart file, you can see I have just defined the shadow.color and banner shadow.color, and I just set the blur radius to 15 and spread radius to 20. Okay, it's look like more professional than the previous. Okay, after this login image, we have required the 2 text form field and button. Let's work on it. I have just set the size box 20 in between the image and the text field. I've just take the padding 15 from the all side. Instead of providing padding for each text field and button, I'll just take the column again. After that, one padding is OK for all the text field and the button. I've just defined the simple text field. First is a text field. Second thing is autocorrect. Starting from the top, I'll just make the autocorrect false. And for keyboard type, our first field is image field. That's why I'll make is text input type dot email address. Okay. Oh, this is not a key. This is the keyboard type. And second, define the decoration, input decoration. We have just add the simple decoration, which is first is a prefix icon, icons.email. Okay. In label text, I'll give the enter your email, and border, outline input border. Content padding, all give the 15 on the all side inside the text field. That's it. And let's save it and see how does it look. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. And this is just 4-5 line of code. That's why I'll just copy it and paste it again and give the 15 height between the two text field. Instead of enter your email, in label text I'll give the enter your password. And in icon, we have used the lock icon on passport. In passport, keyboard type is visibility passport. Remaining all are same. Okay. Here we have required the one button. In sign up screen, we have also required the button. Reason that create the one common button inside the core folder. Common inside the common. Let's create another folder which is called the widget. Inside this widget, we have just created the one common button. I'll name called my button. We are not spending more time on designing this custom button. Here, this is the simple button. I'll define the size box and initially takes the max width of the screen. Elevated button. I'll give padding, background color and shape of this button. And text, I'll set the font size 12, color and font width. That's it. Initially, again I'll set the initially color is blue asset, and we have manually passed the void callback and the name of the button. And let's call the button and let's see how is it look like this button is. At the end of this text field, we will define one size box. Just call the my button here that we have designed. Currently on tab is empty and the button text is login. Save it. Okay, perfect. And I'll just set the height between the text field is 20. Now, after this login button, we have required the if you didn't have an account, then sign up. Row children, inside this row, we have the text first and the text called if you didn't have an account. First child of the row is text and second child of our row is sign up button in the form of text. First I'll text the gesture detector and the child of this gesture detector is text, and I'll give the name of this text called sign up. Add the simple style on the right side. To achieve this, the first child of our row is spacer. Spacer take the available all space on the right side if you add first child of your row. And that's it. This is our login screen. Simple and it's look like decent. Okay, in next tutorial, we have also add the Google login and phone authentication here. After the login screen UI complete, I'll create the next file called sign up screen, and I'll copy all the code from the login screen and just paste it here and rename the name of the class sign up screen. This time we have not required this box shadow, and I'll also change the image on the sign up screen. This time I'll use this image, and I have just decreased the height because we have required another text field here. First is enter your email, enter your password. Before enter your email field, I have just add the another text field and give the name, enter your name, and keyboard type will be the text and icon will be the person, and remaining all are same. Go to the user login screen, and if user click on sign up, then navigate to the sign up screen. For that, we have already created the go route for all the navigation, push pop, push replacement, push name. We have called this function here. Navigation helper. First things we have required the on tab. Inside the on tab, I will call the navigation helper. Navigation helper dot push. That's it. And we need to give the destination screen. Currently, our destination screen will be the sign up screen. And let's click on the sign up here. Okay, look like this. For sign up screen, the image will start from the very top of the tab. For that, I'll wrap our column widget first with the safe area. Instead of column, I have used the list view. If our widget and our property is more than this screen, then it will be a scrollable. Okay, good. Instead of didn't have an account, I'll change this text called, if you already have an account, then go to the login screen. And I have also changed the name of button called sign up. Okay, now everything will be perfect here and UI design part will be completed. Our next steps is we are going to make this authentication functional. We have used the river pod state management to achieve all the function. Last things that will be required is login screen. If we click on this login button, I make it. If user click this login screen, then it need to be navigate back on the login screen. Inside the on tab, again I will call the navigation helper dot push. This time screen will be login screen, user login screen. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, inside the user folder, I've just created another folder called auth. Inside the auth folder, we have required the 3 folder. First called be the model, second will be the screen, and third called service. This time we will be working look like the professional way. In model, we have placed the auth model data here. In service, we have used the sign up login service and the provider service data. In screen, we have moved this sign up screen and login screen, user login screen here. Okay, this is the professional way. If you are creating the app, then separate your logic part, model part, and the view screen part. First, inside the service folder, we have required the sign up login service. I'll give name called auth service dot. Create the auth class which handle Firebase authentication and Firestore operation for sign up, login, and logout functionality. Firebase authentication handle the authentication part, and Firestore, we have used Firestore to store the authenticated user data. Start with class and I'll give name called auth service, or let's change it auth method. You can give any name. Before initializing, you need to add 2-3 package, which is called the first package will be Firebase auth, second will be the Cloud Firestore, and third package will be the Flutter River Pod. We have used River Pod state management to manage the all state of the authentication. We have used Firebase auth to authenticate the user. Cloud Firestore, we have stored all the authenticated user data on Firebase Firestore. Okay, first things that you need to do will be the in sign in method. Just enable the email passport authentication. This time Google will be not required, but if you are going to achieve the email passport authentication, then you need to enable the provider email passport. Just enable it. That's it. You didn't need to do anything on the Firebase. And start the Firebase Firestore here. Currently it will be empty. After user create the account, then created user data will be stored on here. Okay, let's start. First we need to initialize the Firebase Firestore and Firebase auth instance to use. First I will initialize this two. Okay, I have created the 2 instances, one for Firebase authentication and another for Firestore. After that, we are going to handle the user sign in, user sign up with email, passport, and name. First, we are going to start with the sign up method. In sign up method, I'll first define the future function and make it in string, and I'll give the name called sign up user. We have required the 3 things. First string will be the email, and second called password, and third is name of the user. Make this function async. Okay, I'll define the 3 things that will be required and make our function async. Every time we need to use the try catch block, it will be help to display the error message. Okay, try catch, I'll print the error that we have faced. We have handled it professionally later. Okay, first I'll check if the email, passport, name will be empty or not. If email is empty, passport is empty, and name is empty, then return please enter all the field. In sign up method, our main task is to create a new user in Firebase authentication. For that we have used the user credential, and I'll make it await. In any instance it takes some time to authenticate. We have used the auth. We have already created the instance of auth dot create user with email and password. Okay, this is the main things. And next, at the same time, if user create the new account, we have store it. Store the created user on Firestore. For that, we have used the Firebase Firestore instance dot collection, and I'll give the name user collection. This collection itself create the collection on Firestore. If this name collection is already there, it just update it. If not any collection related to this name, then create the new collection and set the field. Inside this collection, we have set the 4 fields. First will be the name, second will be the UID. UID will be always required. If user is created, we need to check if this user is authenticated or not. That's why every time we need to store the user currently login user ID. And email, password will be never stored, and that's why we have store name, UID, email, and next things I'll store created aid. To see the user created time, I'll created the another things called created aid. In created aid, we have stored the user created time on the server. Field value dot server timestamp. Okay, we have created the new user here. We have stored the new created user data here. Next, what we have said, return the success message if everything will be perfect. And instead of this print, I will return it. It will be error. If we return, then it will be also display on the simulator as well. .toString. Okay. Sign up process is completed. Simple. First, define the required things, simply validate it here, create the new user, store it. If success, return the success message. If anything error, display it. We have further validated all the fields using the riverpod state management. Next, we will work on the sign in or login. Everything will be similar. I'll just copy this all from the sign up process and just change the name, login user. This time name field will be not required. I'll remove the name field from everywhere, and we have already stored the new created user. This will be also not required. Instead of this auth.create user with email password, this time we have authenticate the user. Sign in with email and password. Auth also need to make it async. Await auth.sign in with email and password, and same email that we have used. If everything will be perfect, return the success message. If anything error, just return the error message. Okay. Next, for logout. Okay. Simple process. I have defined the future function. Inside this function, we have the auth instance that we have created here. Everything will be surrounded the auth instance. We have created new user using the auth instance. We have login using the same auth instance, and we have sign out using the same instance. Okay. Here, last we have create riverpod provider for auth method. It's allow access to authentication method across the app. Final, auth method provider. Give the name. I'll give the name called auth method provider, and we have used the provider. This provider is not a provider state management. This is the provider of the riverpod. Inside this provider, pass the method name. Our method name is auth method. This will be this class name. Return this class. Simple. Okay. After the authentication service, we have authenticate using the riverpod provider. Auth provider dot. First things, import the Flutter riverpod here. We have used the state notifier riverpod to manage the state of the authentication form using both login and the sign up screen. Why we have used it? It handle the input validation and UI state like password visibility, loading status. We have not used a stateful widget and set state function. Decrease the performance of the app. That's why this time we have achieved this all using the Flutter riverpod. Let's start. Define the class, and the class will be auth form notifier. This will be the name of the class. You can give any name, extend state notifier. This will be the key here. Before that, we have required the model. Before we need to extend auth notifier on state notifier, we have required the model to handle the loading state, visibility state, and all the performance. Here, to save the time, I'll define the state model for the authentication form holding input value and UI state. Name, email, and password will be the field, and name error, email error, and password error error. We'll all handle this using the state notifier and each loading. We have display the loading state if user click on login and off the loading state if login is successfully, and this is for password hidden. Okay, and this is the constructor with default value for initialization. This is the getter to determine if the form is valid. Return true if there are no error in the email and password. Email, password and name is either empty for login or validate for sign up. Okay, and this copy with create a new instance of authentication auth form state with update value. Use null aware operator to return existing value if new one aren't provided. This means if you have stored the name, email, password on the Firestore and mistakenly it will be deleted, then it will show the bad status or error. If you use the null aware operator, it will return the existing value or default value. Okay, this is the simple auth form state model. You can create it in your way. Just pause the video and create the same if you are following the tutorial. After that, working along with its state notifier from auth form state model, imported auth.model is imported. First, initialize with the default auth form state, empty field, password hidden, no error and more. Auth form notifier, empty with auth form state. Okay, after initialize it, first we'll start from the toggle process. If you click on the button here, we have set the button here. If you click, then password will be visible. If you again click, password will be the hide. I'll give name called toggle password visibility. It's update the state with new value. State dot copy with each password hidden. Just make the opposite. If it will be already display the password, just hide it. If not display it. That's it for toggle password visibility logic. If you use the reward port, then it will be the easy, short, easy and reliable. Next, we'll update the name field and validate it. In sign up screen, if user just create the A, then this will be not a name. That's why we need to validate it. Here in update name, we have just update the name field and validate it if the name is empty. If the name is not empty and name dot length is less than 6 character, then share the error message. If name is not empty, means if user provide, but at the same time its need to be a character need to be a greater than 6. Otherwise, it fails the provide your full name error during the sign up. Okay, by the same way, we have update the email field and validate it using the regular expression. Here in update email, first we have update the email field and validate it using the regular expression. And what we have check it here, if email is not empty and doesn't match the regular expression, set the error, which means if user provide the email but it provide the unmatched format email, just like has@gmail.com, then it will be the not format. This will be the not valid email. That's why we have used this regular expression. Otherwise, we have just checked image is, if image is empty, then show the error. Then we have faced this problem. If user provide the has, then image is not empty. That's why we have checked. If email is not empty, you need to keep two things. Here we have also valid. Image is not empty. Not empty is not only a matter. At the same time, email name will be the name character length will be the greater than 6. Okay. In email, we have check the same things. Email, first things, email not need to be empty. If user provide the email, then at the same time it need to be provide the correct email according to this expression. Otherwise it fail enter a valid email error. Same for the password. We have checked the password. First password need to be a password is not empty, and at the same time password need to be a character less than 6. Otherwise it faces the error. Every time user need to keep in mind two things. First, not empty, and second, validate and character must be a greater than 6. Okay. After this, we have required the next state called update the loading state. Void set loading is always a bool, is loading, state, use the show hide or loading indicator during async operation. We have used this loading indicator. Later during this time you are clear what we have using this loading here. Last things, we need to create a reverb provider for auth form notifier, and next allow the form state to be accessed and modifier across the app. Okay, everything will be completed. Last one things, we need to connect this logic part and auth state service part on the UI. Let's start to connect on the sign up screen first. First, make our main function that will accept the provider service. My app inside the material app with widget called provider scope. And instead of this stateless widget, to use the reverb pod, make is consumer widget. Along with build context, pass the widget div. First, we have watch the form state for real-time update. I'll give the name called form state and ref.watch from where auth form provider. Next, we have read the form notifier, ref.read from auth form provider dot notifier. Okay, last things for read the auth method for sign up functionality. Final auth method ref.read auth method provider. Okay, we have handled the sign up process here simply and add the loading indicator. Simply set the loading state to true to show the loading indicator. Form notifier dot set loading state to true. Initially, if user first click the loading button, it's make true and show the loading indicator, and call the sign up method with form input. Final, in our previous sign up login process, we have provide the controller here, but this time we have provide the form state dot email. No, form notifier. This is not form notifier. This is the form state dot email, form state dot passport that we have validated and provided dot name. Okay, here first we have called the sign up method, and inside this first we have check form notifier dot is loading tends to true and call the sign up method. If everything is perfect, then set the loading indicator tends to false. Here first we have set true, call the method and set it false if everything is perfect, and if everything is perfect, if sign up is successfully, navigate to the login screen and show the success message. If RES, this is the RES, is success, then show the navigation helper dot push replacement. Why push replacement? If you have do the push, then it will be display the back button on the app bar, user login screen, and if successfully, same time show the snack bar that we have created. My snack bar on the message we have passed the sign up successfully, now turns to login. Just simple. Last we have display the error message, else show the snack bar with error message. Error will be this error will be the display from the sign up user. Okay, here first we have handle the sign up process, start to handle the sign up process and set the loading state to true to show the loading indicator, and if load indicator start to load, we have called the sign up method with form input and we have set the loading state to false. Then check everything is perfect, then navigate and show the success snack bar. If anything's error, then show the snack bar with error. Okay, and remaining all we have already completed the UI part. Next we'll just call this method on sign up button. Here this is our sign up button. Just form state dot is loading, if true, then show the circular progress indicator, center child circular progress indicator, otherwise display the button. And inside this on tab we have called the form notifier dot is form validate, form state dot is form validate, if true then show the sign up, otherwise show the null. It means how is it work? If form is not validate, then sign up button will be hide. If you click here, okay, first I'll restart it. Here let's click the sign up button. If you click here and start to type, okay, I'll check it what happened, why it not working. We have not defined the controller here, controller and error text. In the password field, let's define the error text and we have called the form state dot passport error. Just copy and paste it here. Instead of password error, just modify it to the email error, and name just change it to the name error. And another things, let's call the on change here, on change form notifier dot update passport, update name, that's it, value. Just copy it from here and paste on the every text field and modify its name, email, and this will be the passport. Okay, now you can see if we start to type, provide your full name and sign up button will be disabled here. Now enable. If you give your name, full name, just now be in, then it will be enabled. Okay, same for email, you need to provide a valid email, same for the passport. Okay, our sign up process is completed. Let's try it will work or not. Until you have provided the complete email, it will display the enter a valid email error. Oh, okay, first we have sign up, then it will work on the hidden password. I'll show you. Currently authentication is empty and database is also empty. Let's sign up. Can see sign up is successful. Now turn to login and let's refresh the Firestore database. You can see created date, email, name and UID will be reflect here, and in authentication the email will be displayed. Okay, let's work on the passport hide show button. Here in suffix, inside the input decoration, we have used the suffix icon button. In icon button, we have already created the method. Just call it form notifier dot toggle password visibility, and icon will be form state dot is password hidden icons dot visibility off, otherwise display icons dot visibility. You can see initially it will be hide. If you just currently it will be not working. Let's see what happened. We have not defined the of secure text. In of secure text, just set the form state dot passport error. No, is password hidden. Save it. Now working perfectly. See, it will be working perfectly. Just copy the passport text field from here and paste it on the user login screen. We have required the same feature for login screen as well, and again go to the sign up screen and call this all the process here. We have required the same things, but we need to just modify its name. Just copy and paste it here and import as and everything. First, make the stateless widget to consumer widget. Next, provide the widget div. Next things is import the auth provider and auth service. Instead of this sign up, rename the name called login. In auth method, just change sign up to login. In login, there is no name parameter. Import the snack bar and just ignore this all the field. Okay, in the success message, just I'll change it successfully login, and I think remaining all are perfect. In navigation, I'll just create the one folder on the user and give the name called home. Inside this home folder, I'll create the home screen dot. Here I'll just define the one stateless widget, home screen, scaffold, app bar. In body, center, child, elevated button. Inside here we have called the logout method, text logout. I'll check what is the name of our auth service. Name called auth method. Auth method tends to auth method. Here just give the auth method dot sign out. In login screen, we have said if successfully login, navigate to the home screen. Okay, first I'll set the on change on email and just modify the name. Instead of update password, I'll make it update email. And next things is error text, mail error. And last, on the login button, we have also set the loading indicator. If is loading, then show the circular progress indicator. Otherwise, show the button. Inside the button, we have again validated it. Okay, everything will be perfect. Just I'll forget to set the one divider here. Row, children, expanded, text the all available space. Inside the container, I'll give the height of container 1 and color will be black 26. First child will be expanded. I'll copy this and I'll paste it again, and third child will be the text name called or. It means if you have already created an account, then log in here. If you didn't have an account, sign up here. We have already registered the account. Let's try to log in using this account. First, I'll try to log in. This is the email that we have used, naveen123@gmail.com. Before that, first let's restart the app. Now it's start to work. Why this login button is not disabled? Oh, we have do the one silly mistake. Now it will be perfect. Okay, if the error happen, the button is disabled. Let's try. Okay, successfully login. We have successfully login. Let's log out from here. Go to the home screen. We have sign out, but after the sign out successfully, where it need to be navigate, we have not defined it. That's why navigation helper dot push replacement screen will be the login screen, user login screen. Okay, let's log out. Okay, everything will be perfect. By this way, you can easily create the email password authentication by using the river pod as our state management, and we have validate age and everything just look like the professional way that you have used the real life app. If you just want to set the hard password, then you can also easily achieve this.